Hi, I'm Shelby Chalberg with Sac Delta Property Management, and I'm a property manager here and have been in the industry for about 5 years. Carissa?
My name's Carissa Graham, and I'm the Vice President of the Auburn Boulevard office, and I manage over here. I've been with Sacramento Delta for 13 years.
Dang.
And we're going to talk about security deposit disputes and how to avoid them, right?
Always the fun topic when it comes to owner conversations at the end of a move out.
Right.
So
what are your expert tips?
The expert tips that I have to offer is treat every move in as if you were going to end up in court. That's the best way to do it, because in that headspace, you're documenting everything as if it was going to be presented in front of a judge. Photographs are really the biggest, benefit that you could offer when it comes to move-in inspections, and really thoroughly documenting what the condition of the property was. Even opening up cabinets, taking photos of, the inside of drawers, showing that everything was thoroughly cleaned prior to, and really noting all of those things. If it doesn't say that it was clean on the move-in inspection, then how do we really know?
Right.
Unless the tenant documented that in their amend sheet. So that's kind of one of the biggest things is that you can do is just document, and be really thorough about it.
Right. So after they move out and the resident is disputing, how do we handle that?
Well, I think the biggest thing that owners really need to understand when it comes to the move-out charges is that we do have to take into consideration the life expectancy of the items that we're charging them for. So, if we have a hole in a door that a tenant caused, but the door is an original door from a house that was built in 1950, the price of that door is probably $20 now, minus depreciation. So the same thing comes to carpet. If you have a tenant with a pet that was in place for 4 years and the carpet has to be replaced because of, the pet urinated everywhere, the carpets only last about 7 years, so you can only charge them for maybe the 36 months of time left of that life expectancy. So making your owners aware of what they can actually charge the tenants for, and also things that are considered wear and tear items. Cleaning isn't a wear and tear item, but unfortunately, like the mini blinds are, depending on what style they are.
Right.
So when you have kind of higher quality materials in houses, they tend to last a little bit longer. And increases the longevity of, the interior of the home. But you do need to be aware of legally what you can charge the tenant for, because at the end of the day, we do want to be fair to our tenants.
Right. Making sure that your fare is going to keep you out of court as well.
Yeah.
Just making sure that the residents are happy when they move out and that they're happy with their deposit disposition as well.
Yeah.
So if you're nickel and diming them, then they may not be as nice to you at the end.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, and the biggest thing too is if they are disputing, then you do need to reevaluate. Don't just immediately assume that you're right and they're wrong.
Right.
You do need to look at it and say, okay, was I unfair at any point? Was there something that maybe the life expectancy, has reached its point and we should be giving them a refund? At the end of the day, it is always the owner's choice of what they're charging the tenants for, but just educating the owner as much as possible and saying, hey, this could end up being a dispute if you try to charge them for it. They may say go ahead for it anyways, but as long as you've advised them that it's not in their best interest to do so, that's all we can do. So you leave it to the experts when it comes to that kind of stuff. And also having a really good rental agreement in place is huge, because that will tell you what you can charge the tenant for throughout the tenancy as well. Just yesterday I had to refund a tenant a full deposit because there was no move-in inspection from the prior management company.
Oh no.
So it was $800 in charges, but I can't charge him with anything because nothing was documented when he moved in.
No written documentation of that.
So, and that's the unfortunate part. Like I said, photos, and even he said he had a copy of it, and it's not in my files, so it's horrible. The other thing was interior inspections. Going in and doing a regular interior inspection, especially if you have a tenant that's been in place for 5 or 6 years. things may have gone wrong through their tenancy, and documenting it on an annual basis kind of gives you a timeline of when things went wrong, where things broke, if it was a life expectancy issue or a wear and tear thing, or if it was, the tenant damaged it, the first year that they moved into the property.
Right.
And we have it documented, and and this is a tenant charge. So that's a really big thing, is just doing those interior inspections and keeping up with
documentation of how they're living in the property.
Yeah, and documenting, keeping all of the invoicing of when you've been replacing things too, because when it comes down to dispositions and you want to charge for carpet or you want to charge for mini blinds, you have to be able to show when you actually replaced it and what the cost was then, because that's the only way that we can validly charge the tenant, and not having it being questioned.
Having those accurate records of when things were repaired or replaced.
Yeah, because if the tenant may say blinds were 5 years old when I moved in, but we don't have any record of when they were replaced. It's only, the owner's word against our word, against the tenant's word. And so just having thorough documentation really is your best way to stay out of court with any situation, especially when it comes to deposit disputes. So that's our best word of advice from Sac Delta.